All right. Tron things. This is pretty typical mono green Tron. One thing of note. Hey, Mad Sheen, thanks for the 13 months. Thanks for putting your Bezo bucks back this way again. One thing of note, hiding here behind my Tempo Storm Square, there are 5 basic forests, so that is one thing worth noting. I do like having a lot of basics. I guess other things of note is this deck has a small hedge as built against humans, notably by playing an All Is Dust over the 3rd Oblivion Stone. All Is Dust in general is just good against aggro in this archetype too, just because you can play All Is Dust and sweep the board on 3. Whereas Oblivion Stone takes 8 mana to play and crack, and Ugin is also 8 mana. So normally this archetype doesn't play a sweeper until 4, but All Is Dust lets you sweep on 3 if you have natural Tron. Did I ever register Tron in a major event? I won a Magic Online Challenge event, which was like 8 or 9 rounds with Tron, and like top 8 another 1 or 2 of them last summer or the summer before. I think it was 2 summers ago, circa 2017. Holy guacamole tacos. That is an excellent username. Guacamole is wonderful, and so are tacos. Thanks for the prime. Welcome, welcome. Tater Tot Shinobi. All of the food groups checking in this morning. Smashing the Tron button I seeing. Well, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Here we are indeed. Hope everyone's having a great start to your weekend. This is a pretty easy mulligan. No Tron piece to start. No second land. No way to get going anywhere. So easy mulligan at 7. This hand's like not great, but I think it's a keep. I don't know. Nah, it's probably wrong. I think I'm gonna mulligan actually. Jiaosu Archmage, thank you for the 11 months. Almost an entire year. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate the Bezo bucks. Fuzzy Nips. That's your username is borderline TMI, I think. Thanks for the 3 months though. I appreciate it. Aim Bot Bows. 2/3 of a year. Yeah, I think, and something I want to talk about is like, this is a deck that tends to mulligan really well because it's got it's looking for a lot of specific things. So 2 hands in a row with no Tron pieces, and like, obviously, like, we mulligan the close 6 and we get an unkeepable 5. That's just like how Magic goes. London mulligan one, please. I mean, this hand's very good. This is definitely the best of all the hands I've looked at. Anamoine, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome, welcome. Friday's a popular day. I like Resub Friday. Welcome back, folks. I caught you right at the beginning, Lord. You were one of the first ones, right? No, Lord Spamalot. That is not you. It was Lord Spamalot. If you are a resub, you sometimes have to refresh your browser page to get the message to go through for some people. Arbor Elf Stomping Ground implies I played the wrong Tron piece. Obviously, should have clicked on the power plant. Implies that they're playing Ponzo, which probably means I'm just going to concede the match. So Ponza, for people not familiar with Modern, is the wacky name for a land destruction deck. Yeah, Twitch changed a whole bunch of things a while back, and it's all been a hot mess since they changed it. Moto has encountered a serious problem and needs to close. We are sorry for the inconvenience. All right, Moto. I guess the real question there is, when isn't Moto encountering a serious problem? You know, it's the little things that really make you appreciate Magic Arena. Just like, although the sponsors greatly prefer Magic Online because they get more time like this. V Snow, thank you for sending your Prime this way again. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah. At the end of the day, finally got my voice back. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Lump Lump. Morning to you too, Snow. Yeah, the problem, like, and like honestly, like when people ask me about like, do I prefer Moto or Arena? Like, it's not even the sweet graphics and the sound effects that I miss about Magic Arena when we're playing Magic Online. It's like the random crashes because I drew a foil. This is probably why it crashed. Actually, I drew a foil card for the turn. I just didn't see it. It's just like a functional client, right? Like if Arena and Moto had the same graphics, but just like we had Arena stability, it's just like, oh, Arena's just like infinitely better. Pulls. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate the support. Well, my Moto has crashed again. I was going to concede the match because I don't want to play against Ponza, but my Moto has crashed again. So apparently I have to reload it again. I wonder if there's an issue with the update that happened Wednesday. Morning, Dude Light. Yeah, it's really not happy. I guess I'll make sure... I guess I will make certain that I don't get foil cards next time I check out. Normally it doesn't matter. Like, occasionally there's crashes on foils, but, like, constantly like this is unusual. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect Arena to ever backwards code all the cards. Like, I don't think that's reasonable. Alright, I would like to concede this match because my opponent's playing Ponza and I'm playing a deck that's playing big mana. So, I'm mulligan to 4, playing Tron, and they're playing Ponza, so we're going to try again. Let's not forget it whence we've come. Yours truly requests Almighty Leader to request a deck from my beginnings, JAC. Sounds good, Anner. I think JAC is actually in the queue already, so I believe that should get JAC up on Monday. Thanks for the support. Thanks for all you've done. You've been around for a hot second now. Thanks for the 16 months. Colorless creature land in war. I did not. I did see there's a colorless land that proliferates. That's a sweet utility land in a set full of planeswalkers. Unlucky. Well, I hope your luck turns around, unlucky, but thanks for the 2/3 of a year at any rate. Sound a tad stuffy. No, I just haven't been talking much yet. I don't do vocal warm-ups before I stream. So like this is what's normally my 8 a.m. voice. This hand's great. Tron piece, map for a Tron piece, turn 3 card. And the Warhammer yesterday went well. We started with 1,500 people when we stopped playing Magic, and we still had like 600 people by the time I was done with like an hour and a half or so of Warhammer, which is good. Usually you drop people off pretty quickly when I'm playing non-Magic games, and like 40% of my previous viewers is a good rate to keep retain. It's good enough, Anner. We got the gist. It becomes a 3/3 for 4, but the ability costs 1 less for each legendary creature or planeswalker you control. That's interesting. So they unsurprisingly Thoughtseize my Expedition map because that's going to guarantee my 3rd Tron piece. So thankfully we have a backup play here. We get to play Chromatic Star, which replaces itself with a new card and then makes mana of any color. So Chromatic Star will make green mana, which then casts Ancient Stirring. It's one of the many reasons why this deck is so redundant and consistent. Just lots of ways to find the cards we're looking for. I'm a teacher and I have 3 voices. Straight out of bed, warmed up for work, and broken in the evening. Yep, can definitely relate to that. So I want to make sure I play this Urza's Mine out before I play this Ancient Stirring, so I don't want to get soft-stebbed. And then I have this Power Plant here. And this Power Plant means that I have 1 of each of these Tron pieces, which means next turn I'll have 7 colorless mana. This is a really good matchup for Tron. I don't know if I believe that. I think it largely depends on the Death Shadow sideboard. I think if the Death Shadow deck has Respect in its sideboard, it's incredibly close, with the Death Shadow deck being borderline favored. That being said, this build of Tron does have 4 Thragtusks in the sideboard, and Thragtusk is one of the better cards in this matchup, because notably it dodges the card Ceremonious Rejection, as well as gaining us life and trading with Gurmag Angler. Opponent casts Inquisition of Kozilek, which takes cards that cost 3 or less out of my hand. Notably, I'm playing Tron, so we don't really have those. So, let's go. Yeah, it depends on how much counter magic they have, though. Nivik, like, some of these decks have, like, you know, like, a bunch of Ceremonious Rejection, some have Disdainful Strokes, etc., etc. So, I think because this isn't a 4/4 yet, I think I actually want to wait on my Karns until I have one more land. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cycle this and then cast this World Breaker, especially because they've missed a land drop. So World Breaker gets to exile a land when I cast it. It's like Hydroid Crisis. It doesn't even have to resolve. So putting them down to 1 mana and putting a 5/7 into play seems good here. Paxman, checking in with that brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. I think I got CJNJ, but just in case I didn't, thanks for half a year. Stinger, 23 months is a long time. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Karn was built by Urza. In fact, there's an old R&D article that talks about the reason why Karn costs 7 mana is so it can be cast off of these Tron lands. Did they just stubborn denial my Chromatic Star? I mean, yes, I would like to pay 1. They forgot to fetch shock with this. I wonder if we'll see a Shame Concede coming here. Yeah. Yeah. Shame. 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 So, if my opponent would have fetch shocked here, they would have gotten to hard counter this. I don't even know that they should be stubborn denying my Chromatic Star anyways, but it's definitely wasn't a good scene there for them. Walking Ballista is not particularly good here. Thragtusk is awesome. I think World Breaker actually isn't great in this matchup. Like, I know it was fine there, but I don't think it's very good in general. Like, a 5/7 often gets outclassed. Like, I think Thragtusk is better than World Breaker by a significant margin. Dismember's probably okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing late starts every Friday from now on AGH. So about 10:15, 10:30, I'll be live by. Day is my 45th day in a row working. Screw this job. I'm just watching Jeff all day and I have my ad bits. Love this stream. Thank you for the biddies, Gristle Dad. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday and a good start to your weekend. So what I want to trim here is the question. Ugin's medium in the face of Stub? I mean, I don't know. Like, Ugin trades with Gurmag Angler. And, like, if they don't have... Yeah, late start so we go later. The late start also makes it so I can, like, run till 5 o'clock 2 days a week without having to do 2 10-hour days, which is nice. I like Ballista because sometimes they can commit to Shadow and you kill them. Yeah, I guess that's okay. I think Ulamog could be too slow in this matchup, but he's also, like, an uncounterable removal spell, which is ideal. I have to bite the bullet and just cut something, and I'm pretty sure it's top end. It's probably Ugin. Probably just Ugin. During board stalls? Why are there board stalls? How are you board stalling and not killing them? Is my question with about Walking Ballista. Like, what does a board stall where they're not just dead look like? Trim 1 Relic. It has text, but I probably don't want to draw a bunch of them. This is fine. All this dust is good. So, like, you want to keep their threats off the table. And, like, while I get that they have counter spells, they like, eventually the counter spells run out. I think this hand's good enough. Usually they don't kill lightning quick, and, like, turn 5 Thragtusk is probably fine. Is there a new message deleted thing? I'm gonna refresh my chat here. Yeah, it's got like 2 Tron pieces. And like, again, the same kind of logic that applies to like Thought Erasure, Keep Lands, and Spells, like I apply to Inquisition of Kozilek, Thoughtseize decks in Modern. So like, your hand generally speaking doesn't get better trying to mulligan against these decks. Would I ever play Mono Green Stompy? You can find a ton of videos of me playing Mono Green Stompy on my website. Find my preferred deck list, and then a playlist of me playing it a bunch in the past or no. It's been a couple of days now. Maybe I need to repop out my chat box, but like my chat box that I have here, deleted messages look the same. Look the same as always. Let me pop out a new. Now it looks the same in my browser that I just refreshed to. Now it says message deleted by a moderator. I mean, who did we think they were deleted by before? Who possibly could have had? Does it when I time something out? Does it say message deleted by benevolent overlord or something? Maybe they're rolling out the changes in part. This Sylvan Scrying is actually a good draw here, because with the Chromatic Star, it means I can cycle this and cast it on turn 2. Like have Tron on 3. Looks like my opponent's playing a turn 2 5/5. So I drew the Tron piece naturally because I'm a filthy scrub lord. So I think I actually don't cycle this now, because next turn I play the Urza's Mine, and then I can just cast turn 3 Thragtusk, because this needs green mana, so Chromatic Star makes green mana for us. And they have to have Thoughtseize or Disdainful Stroke to punish this setup. Yeah, all the message deleteds look the same to me. Maybe they're like when Twitch has rolled out changes in the past, they roll them out in part. So like it's very possible like some people have an update that other people don't have yet. Twitch has also been known to like random user tests with small subgroups of users to like see how they respond to things. They did that with the channel page last year, I remember. They like made some changes to channel page and then collected feedback from people that saw the change. We're the bad guy. No, we're just a modern player. Don't judge me. I'm just here playing the format. Listen. In a cruel world of faithless lootings, Tron is the hero we all need, okay? Alright, so my opponent has a Surgical Extraction in their hand. That's why they thought scoured me. They were trying to hit my last Tron piece. Ban Urza's Tower, hail faithless looting. Alternatively, unban Splinter Twin. Please unban Twin, it did nothing wrong. Stroke me, daddy, stroke me. Yeah, there you go. I love when they do as I ask. Oh, baby. Do we have another fish? Are they about to just put like a second fish into this Oblivion Stone? That would be so tasty. Pass the turn. Pass the turn. Rats! Rats! They're gonna give us a fat stubby D, chat. They're gonna give us a fat stubby D. Oh! I was not prepared for that to work. Get him, got him good. Bye, friends. Yeah, I'm blowing it up right away because I don't want something weird like Trick Bind to happen. Just like, let's just play around all the things. Let's not get got. Aw, do you have another fish? That's adorable. Anybody else feeling hungry? It is almost lunchtime and I'm feeling kind of peckish. Prince Tay, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay, opponent. Tron. Feeling as an American, I oft feel ceaseless and hunger. Is the hunger ceaseless? For those of you that are maybe my standard players or haven't seen Modern before, Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger is the very fair and balanced 10-10 for 10. When you cast this, you get to exile 2 target permanents, and then when it attacks, they exile the top 20 cards of their deck. We conceded to Panza match 1. This deck, as constructed, actually has a decent chance against burn, so I don't think I'd concede to burn with this setup, but Panza were dead and gone. My son and I play Tron when we want to win. Sounds like you and your son are very smart, Mr. Silicon. I mean, we're going to play more than just Tron and Modern moving forward, but the quality of decks is going to be a little bit higher moving forward. So, like, what do we have coming up? We have Hardened Scales. Anoronics just pushed JAC to the top of the Modern queue. Just kind of Hiri, Frenzy Affinity. We got a lot of good ones coming up. And actual good ones. So this is a Tron piece. This is a Tron piece. This is a Tron piece. Are the Annihilator, Eldrazi banned in Modern? They are not. They're just worse than the other Eldrazi. Yeah, they just tend to be worse. The new ones are a little bit cheaper, which makes them a lot better. Did we really? Nothing summarizes Modern like queuing up to play Tron and running into Panza twice in the same league. Nothing summarizes the Modern experience more than queuing up with Tron and running into mother flipping Panza 2 of the first 3 matches you play. So I'm gonna concede this match when they cast the Stone Rain here, but I'm just waiting to confirm. Just waiting to confirm. What is Panza? Panza is what we call the red-green land destruction deck in Modern. Could easily be 3 out of 4, right? This is actually a different Panza player than the last one we played against. Maybe they're just playing a brew. Maybe they're not Panza and they're just playing a brew. Nope. All right. Excellent. We came. We saw. Might be a quick day for Modern. Might be the day where Modern happens. Panza is a deck that in general isn't very good in Modern, but it's a land destruction deck that is reasonable against Tron. Modern, for people that haven't played it, is a format that has very polarizing matchups. There's a lot of matchups where you basically just don't have a chance unless your opponent doesn't play Magic, and that's one of the ones for Tron. Started 2 hours later, finished at the same time. Yeah, it's feeling that way. Hey, this is a mulligan. I keep this on the draw with a scry with 1 Tron piece plus a map, but I think just like hoping to naturally hit a second land is just not good enough. This hand's super reasonable. I would love to keep a Chromatic Star on top of my deck. Even post Ballista, Infect's a pretty good matchup. Infect's a pretty bad matchup for Tron. Was watching on TV and had to take out my computer to resub so I could say count to 7, 1, 2, 3, Tron. That's great. Well, so far this league's looking to be an incredible sampling of Modern's diversity. 2x Ponza, 2x Death Shadow. It really does punch-worthy. Between the client crashes and the rate of play, Arena is just so fantastic. Different days, Hyder. Alright, just Tron things. Tron. I would be incredibly surprised if multiplayer ever came to Arena past 2 players. The logistical back end is a nightmare. It requires re-imaging and designing the entire interface, and then making sure every card and interaction works in that new interface as well. They won't port Rena outside of Windows. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I actually think, like, native OS X support is more likely than the alternative. So, like, obviously, I could wait a turn to play around soft stub here, but, like, they're pretty likely to fetch or a shock, and then the soft stub becomes a hard stub, so I want to just jam into it, I think, especially with the Oblivion Stone in my hand. I suppose you could make the argument that I should play Oblivion Stone last turn, but the flip side of that is if they're one of the decks on Kolaghan's command still, that's pretty bad for me. Alright, might be dead here. Standard players, you think Mono Blue's annoying to play against. Imagine if Mono Blue got to play a 1-mana 6/6 that eventually turns into a 1-mana 12/12. And they got to play 1-mana Negate. And 1-mana Thought Erasure. Alright, dead to Teamer Battle Rage. I'm not dead yet. worth noting here, if I had an Urza's Factory in my deck, we'd be able to stay alive here. It's a card that this archetype plays sometimes. And that 12/12 turns into a double strike trampler. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Great, well, we know how to sideboard at least. Huh. That's interesting. Sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus a sacrifice creature's mana cost. Put on the battlefield with a 1/1 counter. Shuffle your library. You know what? What's interesting about this is, unlike Eldritch Evolution, this notably doesn't exile itself upon resolution. This notably does not exile itself upon resolution, which is interesting. Yep. So we'll go Tron Beast map. Yeah, the blue and the casting cost is interesting for sure too. Opponent conceded instead of letting me finish my double Adonis Clive Crisis into a 58-52. Lol. I need a deck for next Thursday. Teamer Climb's on the short list, I think. No, it was a sorcery, Seth. Gates. Probably not. Probably not. I think if I wanted to play a deck with low, I think I wanted to, if I was going to play a deck that had a low level of player agency, I'd probably play White Weenie. Has Jeff made fun of the new Hate Bear yet? I haven't seen the new Hate Bear, but I'm sure if I did, we could make fun of it together. I appreciate the people that understand the history we have here. It's gonna go get this so I can auto pass. Two, 3. Sorry, this is I was prepped that this was gonna be a bear. Sorry, I was lied to. Lands on the battlefield and land cards in graveyards can't be targeted spells or abilities your opponents control. Your opponents can't play lands from the graveyard. Oh lordy, what if they're printing this card now because they intend to print Wasteland in the Horizon set? This is an anti-Wasteland card. And they're printing it now. What if that was what this card was doing? Man, that's like two Death Shadows. Massacre Girl is really good. Like, that card is super real. Don't mind me. Just tripping. You move, Yuki boy. This is all I got. Massacre Girl. I'll pull Massacre Girl up. This card's great. If you didn't see this one. 4/4 for 5 with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, each other creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. When a creature dies this turn, each creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1/-1 until end of turn. This is very similar. People are talking about the design from Hearthstone. This is very similar to Defile, but on a body, which is interesting. Yeah, so like, she kills everything with 1 toughness, and then if 2 things with 1 toughness dies, now she kills everything up to 3 toughness. Then if things die, she kills up and up and up. So you set up like chain reactions with it, basically. The new Sorin looks incredibly tasty for aristocrats. It's not Chain Whirler because it's not one-sided. Are things to note. I guess Thought Scour there is a reason. Thought Scour is a reason to wait to pop my Relic. Hey, Big Dan, Little Dan, thanks for the tip. You're having a good one. The old concession, assuming I have something. Here's money for the Affinity deck you okayed. Well, I got you. What's your opinion on the Katana sleeves? Haven't touched them. Madman, thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. I don't get out and play Paper that much, and when I do, I've been using the BCW Elite cards that one of my sponsors hooked me up with. You're about to play an 8-mana Fatal Push. Something like that. Standard Aristocrats is on my short list for the Thursday tournament too. Obviously, it's not as good in the current format, but I think it's plenty competitive. The black-white build's been very reasonable for me. I'm actually not a huge fan of the Dragon Shield mats. The corners on them are not very durable in my experience. The BCW Elite Guard 2s are much better. At least for how I shuffle. And the Elite Guards are a better price point too. The Elite Guard 2s are $8 for 100 sleeves as opposed to 10 to 12. Korluski, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. No, BCW is still around. People are just talking about different brands of sleeves and pros and cons and if I'd used them before. I like how we're 43 minutes into this league and we're like in match 4. They have Gulligan's Command in their 75. It's good to know. It's a card that's like kind of fallen out of favor because Modern's not about grinding a ton. I guess Green-Black Rocks kind of had a small resurgence lately because it's decent against the Phoenix deck. Scry me a river, baby. Wow. Way to give me that stubby D, opponent. That bad control player checking in for the 10th month. I appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your weekend and a great Friday. If at first you don't succeed, Tron again. Tron again. Your D is fat and stubby. I think I hurt my toe. Hit my toe on this counterspell. Yikes. We've conceded to Panza twice, and we've played against Death Shadow twice. Is Black-Green Rock strictly better than Abzan running paths and stuff? So I'm always hesitant to use terms like strictly better because Magic players tend to like to use those when they don't really apply. But I think in general, Black-Green Rock tends to be better just because better mana tends to make it more consistent. There's something to be said for not taking damage from your mana in Modern as well, which is a big deal. Well, if they don't have a Stone Rain or a Fulminator here, we're gonna Ceaseless Hunger them a couple times. So this is my 10/10. There are many like it, but this one kills 2 of your lands. I mean, like, this game's a great example of, like, my opponent having a bunch of disruption, but then not putting a clock into play, right? Daddy's home and he's angry. Oh no, they countered my spell. Good thing half of it still resolves. Yay, Magic. Yay. We won, we won, I guess. I don't know that it was particularly satisfying, but we definitely won. Time for Ponza number 3, right? Time for Ponza the 3rd. Was it good for you? It wasn't good for me. Is this the way standard Reclamation players feel with it? At least, like, when you're playing the Reclamation deck, you're drawing a bunch of cards. At least you've got that going for you. You like Warping Whale in the sideboard? Why do you like Warping Whale in the sideboard, J-Peak? What about it is appealing? Spire of Industry, Nihil Spellbomb. Is this blue-black Worm? When you can't innovate, litigate. I'm clever sometimes. So, I think I actually want to cycle these things first. Because generally speaking, you want to play your cantrips before you use your tutor effect. Because your tutor effect gets you any Tron piece you need, whereas the cantrips don't really get to pick. What's the price for a modern Leonin Arbiter build-around where at least 4 matches get played? 100 American dollars. Do you have the price sheet on your next monitor? Nah, I'll play most things for $100. $100 reduce goes a long way. No joke, Sulfarion. That was exactly my plan. How good would you say mono white Texas is right now? What's worse than unplayable? Welcome to the jungle. Do, 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 do. Listen, chat, for people who are now asking in chat for things that I'll play with $100, you know what? Just send your $100 in and we'll work it out. If you can't send the $100 in willy-nilly, you probably can't afford it, so don't bother asking. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Tron. Nothing but professionalism on this channel, chat. Nothing but professionalism. It's like the line from beer. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Yep. So I played the Wurmcoil this turn as opposed to the Karn because I want to play the Karn while I have Sanctum of Ugin out, so that way I can go get a colorless creature. Whenever a non-token artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, get a servo. Sure. I'd like to exile your thing. Am I dead? Why am I dead? Are they infinite? I'm trying to work out exactly what they're doing here and if the relic keeps us alive through it. I feel like there's a chance the relic keeps us alive through it. Can I just blow up the relic here? Because like they've been to sword, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and exile this. So they have to find another sword, right? So they get 6 looks at another sword. Oh, they milled me by mistake. Alright. Magic Sausage Cat. Thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. No sword yet. We are 2-2. We played Ponza twice in this league and lost to it 2 times. We played Death Shadow twice in this league and we beat it twice. If they find the sword... If they find the sword, they can mill us out. Wannabe Kurt, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. My beard was dyed pink at the same time we did my hair. And my hair faded out and the beard has stayed so far. I'm so confused. Do they not know how their deck works? Oh, they probably don't have another way to... They don't have a way to make another artifact, right? Sly Requisitioner says whenever a non-token artifact they control dies, they get a 1/1. Sounds good, Karn Father. Thanks for the tier 3 resub. Well, I appreciate it, Kurt. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday and a good start to your weekend. All right, so now we're dead, right? So this now means, so they hit another Sword of the Meek here. So now Sword of the Meek plus Grinding Station plus Sly is a 3-card mill as much as they want. They sacrifice the sword to make me mill, which then makes a 1/1, which then brings the sword back to play, which untaps the Grinding Station. So this is a 3-card combo that mills my deck out. Nemesis, welcome to the 2-year club. Thank you for the 24 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We've been memed. Nature's Claim and Thought-Knot Seer sound great here. All is Dust and Ugin, not so useful. It's probably a Wurmcoil out matchup. Yeah, they're basically KCI adjacent. Which is, again, like, at the end of the day, Dismember's good because Sai and Troller are important. Do I want Spatial Contortion with that? With that in mind? 4-Color Skies. I think it's in the deck queue. Yeah, 4-Color Skies has a link in the deck queue, so if you open that up, you can find it. At the end of the day, Mox Opal and Ancient Storings are the cards that need to go away. I'm gonna keep this, I guess. Hey, look at that. So we'll have turn 4 Tron. Go Tron Peace Scrying, Tron Peace, Tron Peace. Grab my Tower of Power. Raid. This turns off my lands that make lots of mana. I did Nivik. I can, however, cast a Thought-Knot Seer next turn, so that's nice. Nah, the likelihood of that happening is pretty low, just up B. So I think I'd rather just, like, get the guaranteed Tron going, basically. I think I take Sword here, right? I think I take Sword. Because even just, like, Sword plus Thopter Foundry at the moment together is kind of annoying. I assume they're casting a 2-2 here. Yeah, we lost game 1 to them comboing. Stone's a good draw. I'm almost always the fastest D-Prince. Playing out the Mox Opal. Interesting. Why would they play out Opal there? Into the Oblivion Stone? Seems strange. The Lorwyn set was the first set with Planeswalkers. And they were all rare because Mythic rarity didn't exist at that point. Oh, Sly Requisitioner does trigger when all these things die, doesn't it? Alright, so I want to blow this up in response here, because otherwise this thing finds a bunch of friends back, right? And they get to pick the Damping Sphere back up. So this unfortunately means I can't put a fate counter on my Thought-Knot Seer. But I think this is ideal. Why are they... That's weird that they're just, like, choosing to gain 1. So they could have had 1/1s left over in play. Feels like this game is getting pretty locked up for us. Bernard, thank you for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. I would like another Karn Liberated. This is going to go get Ulamog. MCGA completely free to players. They're a buying cost. No, it costs nothing to make an account for Magic Arena. Our poker hand is almost certainly better than their poker hand. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. This is definitely a matchup where having less than 4 Oblivion Stone is not ideal. Which I think is one of my comments on this deck list. While I get the All Is Dust is like kind of cheeky and like plays around Meddling Mage, I think not playing 4 Stone and Tron is probably a mistake. Bowler Scribe, thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Your progress will be faster, obviously, if you put money in, but if you want to put $0 reduce in, that is possible. I personally would recommend, unless you have infinite free time, at least buying enough cards to get something like mono blue or a base best of 1 red aggro deck, because having a real tiered constructed deck will make your progression into getting more stuff without spending money much quicker. What do you think of new Karn in this style of deck? Well, if I have 4 lands, and if I can make 4 mana, I can probably make 7 mana. So I think I'd rather just play big things. They're not running 4. I don't. Magic players are too silly. Just play 4 of your good cards. It's really a simple concept. Just what's your good card? Play 4 of that one. Just do it. Just do it. Is like one of the ways, an easy way to figure out like should you probably be running 4 of something is just like think of how many matchups you have where you're just like, man, the only thing I want to draw here is my Oblivion Stone. Really hope my next draw is Oblivion Stone. And just like, I feel like there's a lot of matches like that. I think Goyf is still good on the sideboard for the aggressive matchups. Yeah, I think that's a fine play. I think it's kind of sweet against Green Blackrock too. Tower of Power. Tower. Rats. Why are we so unlucky, chat? Couldn't just draw a tower off the top. Why, Pumpkins? Thank you for the 8 months. The 8 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. One of your finest Karn Liberateds, please. Do I want to just exile a card out of their hand? I probably want to take one of their things off the table, huh? Yeah, I probably want to axe a combo piece. If they want to sacrifice enough artifacts to kill Karn here, I'm fine. You're surprised? Are you new here, Zach? Zach, you're not new here. How are you possibly surprised by that? I would accept you're disappointed that the default window is still the size it is, but surprised is an unfair assessment, I think. I'm definitely disappointed it's as small as it is because it's silly. You always have to resize it. But 0 out of 10, not surprised. My opponent's deck looked so good game 1, chat. What happened? I don't understand what happened. Mr. Maple Syrup. Good afternoon. Good morning. What time of day is it? 11? 11 a.m.? How many people have we turned 3 Karn today? Not many, actually. I would like the card out of your hand, please. One of the finest cards out of your hand, please. Do you think this is a concession, Ulamog? It's probably pretty close to a concession, Ulamog. If they have 4 flyers, I have an Ulamog and a Karn. We're not alting the Karn, chat. They're probably going to concede long before we get there, okay? This was Tron. We beat Death Shadow twice. We conceded to Ponza twice. We beat a weird combo deck once. Yeah, I don't know. I think my only thought is I think this one All-Is does over the 4th Oblivion Stone is a little bit cheeky. Especially with, like, Prison being a bit of a deck again. I think not playing 4 O-Stones is probably a miss there. Turkin, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I'd recommend a 4th stone, I think. I think I'd probably replace the All-Is dust with a 4th stone. Sideboard seems fine. I love a pile of Thragtusks. Thought-Knot Seer is fine. The rest seems reasonable. Grafdigger's Cage seems like fine hate. I think Warping Whale should be in the side. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Warping Whale. I think Spatial Contortion's just reasonable. I was expecting to play against, like, I don't know, a lot of Scape Shift. Maybe I'd play Warping Whale or Crumble the Dust, but those cards don't really see play, so... Okay. I think I don't mind the other details. The only thing I have a strong opinion on one way or another is a 4th Oblivion Stone. The rest of it is just like, these are like things Tron does, and you can mix and match as you please. With 4 Thragtusk and 3 Thought-Knot Seer, I think you're probably okay against burn a lot of the time. At least against their average draw, which is about where you want to be. Alright, video games. Video games. Beautiful Bloodbraid Elves. Beautiful Bloodbraid Elves in video games. What more could you want on a Friday afternoon, chap? Beautiful Bloodbraids in video games. I did see the new Eldritch Evolution. It's interesting. Ooh. Video games killed the spreadsheet stars in my mind and in my Twitch. Do 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 do. Oh. Stand up, stretch. It is token times, Jojo. Let's get the deck list updated. How late am I planning to go tonight? Your 4-color Vanifear deck is the 4th standard deck I'm playing today, which means we'll probably start playing it about 4.5 to 5 hours from now, Hayes. So it might run into your FNM EST. Every deck lasts about 60 to 90 minutes or so.